Yo, what's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? The College Collector here, your favorite statue reviewer, and I'm back again, right on the heels of Venom, my Venom review, coming at you with Carnage by XM Studios. This statue has been on the receiving end of a lot of criticism for quite a while. Ever since it was first revealed to now, to production. People saw it at the con, weren't a big fan of it. So this is probably going to be the most controversial video I've done so far. But I want to keep it light, keep it friendly, have a good discussion. We're not all going to have the same. We're not all going to have the same opinion. But I think we can be respectful about other people's thoughts. Anyway, me personally, I like it. I dig it. As most of you may know, I do have the premium format. It's actually sitting here, out of the camera right now. We're gonna do a little comparison at the end of this review, just to kind of compare the two side by side. But all right, enough about the premium format. Enough about me. Let's get into the review. Now, this Carnage was sculpted by, I believe it was Caleb Nefson, I think. And as you can see, it's kind of a different take on Carnage. It's not, like, for the comic book purists out there, it's really, this isn't for you. The skin is textured very differently than most Carnage statues. Even the pose isn't like, when you think of Carnage, I don't think the first thing you think of is him sitting on top of a church or tower spire. But I like it. Some things I like, some things I don't like, but overall I'm happy with it. Let's start off with the sculpt. The sculpt is probably what's been garnering most of the criticism on this piece. The skin is like a very, I don't know how to describe it. When people ask me, I say it's really like a organic, flowing, like kind of fibrous texture. It's hard to photograph. It really doesn't show up in pictures well, so I'm not even going to bother trying to show you close-ups of the skin. But it's not, like I said, it's not a very comic accurate look. But I do like it. It looks as if the skin is like alive, kind of moving around his body at all times, never really sitting still, which I think is a cool take. I dig it. I like it. It's not for everyone, and it did take me a little bit to warm up to it, to be honest with you. But, after owning him for a little while right now, looking at him now, I like it. I really do. It's a different take, and me, I like modernized, stylized takes on certain characters. I don't always need the most comic accurate look out there, but I'm glad with the sculpt. The sculpt, not just about the skin. The base, while it is, a little bit bland looking, the sculpt is nice on the base. It's clean, little like designs and stuff etched into the church spire. It actually has a lot more detail in person than it does in pictures. We can get into more of that in the paint aspect, but the sculpt is nice. Originally, there was supposed to be like a kind of symbiote goo or like ooze crawling up the base. But XM scrapped that. They said it didn't look too good when it was printed. But I don't know. I think they could have pulled it off. Who knows what really happened. But do I wish they would have added something else with the base? Yeah, I kind of do, to be honest with you. The symbiote ooze, or even just painted on, would have looked nice. But that's it for sculpt, really. Paint application is second to none, like XM usually does. Not a single black or red out of the line. And the skin itself, the red especially, does have some it's not one tone of red. And it's not glossy like it usually shows up in pictures. I was surprised. I took it out of the box and I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't glossy at all. The red shows up as pretty glossy in pictures, which is just another reason why it doesn't photograph well at all. The paint is great. It's like layered, there's like I said, the skin is kind of like a flowing organic feel look to it. So like it's layered. You know, there's darker reds and brighter reds on different areas of the skin and textures. Paint apps are clean all around. The eyes on the heads, well, besides the morphing head, they have like veins painted in there, which I love that. You know, I'm a sucker for those nice fine details that you don't really see in every statue. I love the veins painted in there. The tongue on this head, I love how it's like painted. I love the paint on this. I love the paint on most, or if not all, XM pieces. The black tendrils are actually kind of glossy, but I do like that. I think if it's either the red or the black that should have been glossy, it's definitely the black. And I'm glad they went that way. Yeah, paint application as usual for XM Studios, top notch. Let's talk about the switch outs now, and as you can see, there are switch outs galore to the statue. I think this is the most switch outs I've seen on a statue ever. I can't think of one right now. You get 3 head sculpts. You get the one that's on there right now, which is the classic Bagley head with the big eyes. You get I don't have this one on me now. I took one look at it and put it right in the box. You get a more modernized head sculpt, which is like, you know, has white teeth instead of black, and it has like a weird tongue coming out of it. It looks like Twizzlers, to be honest with you. I'm not a fan. You know, I didn't like it in pictures. I thought maybe it'd be better in person. I took it out of the box, put it on the statue, and I said, yeah, I'm never putting this shit on the statue. So, went right back in the box. And then you get this incredible, amazing head sculpt right here. The transformation head, the Cletus Cassidy morphing into Carnage. And this is so well done. I think this is better than the Eddie Brock transformation head on Venom. It's, you know, the symbiote's like tearing at his lips, and Cletus Cassidy has like red eyes, not green eyes, but like the whites of his eyes are tinted with red. You know, he's loving every second of the transformation. You know, the symbiote is engulfing him. I think it's done incredibly well. Way better than Venom's, in my opinion. I do like the Venom transformation head, but I always thought it could have been a bit better. And this is always kind of what I had in mind, like way more of a, I don't know what to, dynamic, I guess. Way more of a dynamic look to the transformation. I love it. You know, I don't usually display my statues with like an unmasked or unhelmeted, or like, if it's like a person in a suit, I usually display the masked head. I don't usually display the human under the suit on my statues. But this, I mean, I've been finding myself using this head a lot of times. You get a lot of arms too. You get 5 total arms. I think you get 2 left arms and 3 right arms. I'm not going to go and show you every possible combination there is. It would just take too long. But, you know, I'll show you the arms themselves. You get 2 of the bladed arms. One of them is already on the statue, and the other one here. I think this is done really well. They're big, too. I mean, the blades are like, look at my hand. I mean, the blades are pretty damn big. You know, so you can have the, like, both bladed arm look on the statue, which I think is cool, but you know, since you get so many different arms, I wouldn't want to display both of them looking the same way, you know, mix it up a bit. You get this, which I think is one of his left arms, which is pretty cool, but you got to be careful because these fingertips, they actually touch the base when you put it on there. So like, it's hard to move the peg, the key into the hole there, without scratching the finger on the base. You got to be really careful as you get it in there. But it looks nice. They all look nice, to be honest. Then you get this arm, boom, which is a right arm, and it's actually what I had displayed instead of this for a while. This arm with the bladed left arm was actually my favorite combination for a while. But then I put this one on there, and it's been growing on me a lot. I like it. You know, you have an endless amount of, you know, different heads, different arms, you get so many different choices and options to display it with that you really can't go wrong. You know, I might as well show you one of these display options. I'll take off this arm right here. Put that down. Meanwhile, you can stare at his ass for a bit. That's what I've been doing this whole video, so. Boom. Let's put that arm on. Yeah, I like this look too. There's so many different looks you can get with this piece. And that's just what I think. You know, XM really gives you your money's worth on switch outs. Of course, they don't all come with this many switch outs, but you always get at least something. You know, you always get at least an extra head, extra something. Even if you don't end up using all of them, it's nice to know that you got all these options. Switch the heads too. Put the Cletus Cassidy head on there. Boom. Man, I love the look of this head. I really do. Really, really do. Some people don't like it. You know, they say it's too like messy or something. But you know, from afar, it kind of does look a bit messy. But when you get up close, you really got to admire it. All right, that's it for switch outs. Let's go to like the production and build quality of the statue. No, this is XM Studios. You know, it's nothing but top-notch quality. But like any company, they're not perfect. There's a ton of tendrils that come with the statue, and most of them fit in tight and snug. But I did have a few that, you know, just are loose, don't want to stay in there. So XM takes a little bit of a hit there for quality. And keeping on the tendrils, they look nice. They are made of plastic, and I get why XM had to do that. There'd be tons of breakages if they were solid stone or porcelain. But some of them really have like a cheap look to them. Again, I get why they had to go with plastic, but I still think for XM they could have done a bit better making it not so obvious that they were just plastic. They're nice, you know, they're nice, and you don't really notice how cheap they are unless you really come up close. But it's not, you know, it's not that big a deal. But everything else, quality-wise, is perfect. You know, every magnet, all the magnets fit in fine. They did an incredible job of hiding the seam lines on the arms, because the seam lines just kind of like disappear in between the symbiote skin. So I mean, I had a buddy over at my house today, and he was looking at this guy and said, "Whoa, where do these arms come off exactly?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you really can't see where these arms come off." That's it for production. So let's jump into the comparison with the premium format. How about that? Let's put the classic head on first. That way we can just, the comparison is a bit more fair since the premium format doesn't come with a morphing head. Let's put that head on. Let's move these switch outs somewhere else. All right. So this is the Sideshow premium format. Boom. Move these things out of here. I'll try to edit all this preparation out, but I'm not a very good editor, so you'll have to forgive me if I end up leaving this shit in there. Okay, so to my left is the XM, and to my right is the premium format. Both of their asses are in my face. Okay, so which one do I like better? I'll say right now, overall, I prefer the XM. But that's not to say the premium format doesn't get things right or the XM fails. First and foremost, I much prefer a more action-oriented pose of the premium format. You know, when I picture Carnage, he's a violent serial killer. And the first thing that comes to my mind is not, oh, gee, I bet he spends his time up on church spires, like, laughing at you from up top. You know, no, I picture he's ready for an attack and he's lunging at you, one arm outstretched like that. This is exclusive with the axe, but I don't have the axe displayed right now. So the pose, I do prefer the premium format. Another thing I prefer on the premium format is the tendrils. They're like thicker, well, not thicker, but they just look, even though they both tendrils do look kind of cheap, but I still prefer the way the premium format tendrils are done. It's a lot simpler, and they are plastic as well, but they do look a bit better than the XM Studios. That's about it. Where the pros for the premium format end for me. I prefer the pose, and I prefer the more like cleaner look of the tendrils. But where the premium format takes a big hit for me, and it's really apparent when you have it next to this, is this isn't red. I mean, this is almost like an washed out red, like almost an orange kind of. And Carnage is red. And I might be, a bit biased because red is probably my favorite color, but I like a deep, almost like blood red. And the XM Studios is perfect in the red department. It's not that the premium format is bad, and under certain lighting conditions, I have been able to make him look like a deep blood red. Not blood, but a deep red, kind of like the prototype was. I wish that the color of this had came out looking like the prototype. Even the base was more toned and textured than the prototype. So yeah, I mean, if this had come out with the same shade of red as in the proto, I think I would have liked it a lot more. Not to knock this, again, it's a good statue, it's great, but I just prefer the red on this. The premium format is a lot more comic accurate in terms of design. So if you're a comic book purist, then you're gonna want to get this, because this is not as comic accurate as the PF. Me, again, like I said in the beginning, I do like some modernized, stylized takes on characters, so I have no problem with a bit of straying away from comic accuracy. And, just the overall quality of the XM Studios Carnage is just better than the Sideshow. And, I'm not like the big, there's some people out there that say, oh, Sideshow's crap quality, this, that, and that's not true. Every company has their hits and misses, and every company has quality issues. Up until recently, I've never seen a picture of a broken XM statue, but someone actually did receive an XM statue broken. I was surprised when I saw it, but just goes to show it happens. You can be whatever company you want, and you'll have quality issues. So, I don't say this to try and be one of those freaks that shit on Sideshow for their quality, but it is apparent when you have the two side by side which has the better production and build quality to it. The premium format is nice. It's not a bad quality statue, otherwise I wouldn't have bought it in the first place, But side by side, the XM wins for me. I think both of their bases could have been better. The XM could have had a bit more like paint, shading color to it, and at the same time, I think the premium format could have been better detailed as well. They're both fairly detailed in terms of sculpt, but I think the paint on both bases could have been better. So yeah, they both have their pros and cons. Again, if you're more of a comic book purist who prefers the stick to the comics, no deviation from that, you'll want to get the premium format. But, if you don't mind a bit of straying away, the XM is for you. I love both. I'm going to have someone buying the premium format from me. I'm keeping this. So at the end of the day, you really can't go wrong with either one. But yep. That's it, guys, then. That's going to wrap up the review and comparison. It's probably one of my longer videos. I'll have to see how long it's clocking in at. As always, I want to thank you guys for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I love when you guys comment. Let me know what you think. Means a lot that you guys watch it, care about my opinion. And this is just my opinion. You disagree with me, that's perfect. Tell me why. Tell me why you disagree with me. Don't just say you're wrong. Okay, let me know why. I want to have a friendly discussion. So until next time, I will see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Peace out.